All right. Good evening. My name's Liz, and I'm an alcoholic. Please join me in the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right. I'd like to remind everybody that this meeting is being live streamed. So if you can't make it down here for whatever reason, you can go on our website. You can watch the meetings every Tuesday night from 6:30 to 8. And there's also a library of previous speakers that you can go to in case you want to catch a speaker, need a meeting, need to hear the message. Who is it their first time here tonight? We have, awesome. You guys came on pizza night. Well done. So welcome. You guys are the most important people in the room. This is what we do here at Fred Brown. So welcome to the Tuesday night alumni speaker meeting. Let's go around the room and introduce ourselves, starting on my right.
My name is Nancy and I'm an addict.
Nancy. Derek. Cassell.
Randy addict.
Randy.
Hamid addict.
Hamid.
Dalton addict.
Dalton.
Billy addict.
Billy.
Brandon recovering alcoholic addict.
Brandon.
Christopher addict.
Christopher.
Scott addict.
Scott.
Grant addict.
Grant.
Lester alcoholic.
Lester.
Glenn addict.
Glenn. Ben. William. Anthony. Albert. Eddie. Brian.
Jason, thankful, grateful, recovering addict.
Jason. Kenny. Kenny. Joshua. Jonathan.
Frank addict.
Frank. Jesse. Chris. Arthur. Scott. Sean. We're a 12-step meeting. Ha ha.
This is an alumni meeting.
Oh, there we go. A 12-step alumni meeting. We take both alcoholics and addicts. And shopaholics when Joy is here. Not that we're outing her, but we just did. Maria. Zach. Danny. Harry. Adrian. Felipe. Robert. Rick. Jonte. Enrique. Joe. Jeremy. Will. David. Michael. Nathaniel. Red. George. Louise.
Alfie addict alcoholic.
Alfie.
Rudy addict.
Rudy. And I'm Liz. I'm still an alcoholic. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. All right. So tonight we are doing AA. So let me read the AA preamble. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of people who share their experience, strength, and hope with each other that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There's no dues or fees for AA membership. We're self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organization, or institution. Does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. We kindly ask for your cooperation in making this a good experience for all who wish to hear the message. Please respect the speakers and the readers and the meeting by not talking while other people are up here at the podium or at sharing. During the break, feel free to help yourself to coffee, water, and snacks. And please be mindful when you are over there that we are civilized, respectful individuals, right? Let's not make a big fat mess for me to clean up. I'd appreciate it. Just a friendly reminder, right? Otherwise, no coffee for you. Okay, David, we've asked David to come on up and read a portion of chapter 3. Come on up.
David, an alcoholic. Chapter 3, more about alcoholism. Most of us have been unwilling to admit we were real alcoholics. No person likes to think he is bodily and mentally different from his fellows. Therefore, it is not surprising that our drinking careers have been characterized by countless vain attempts to prove we could drink like other people. The idea that somehow, someday, he will control and enjoy his drinking is the great obsession of every abnormal drinker. The persistence of this illusion is astonishing. Many pursue it into the gates of insanity or death. We learned that we had to fully concede to our innermost selves that we were alcoholics. This is the first step in recovery. The delusion that we are like other people, or presently may be, has to be smashed. We alcoholics are men and women who have lost the ability to control our drinking. We know that no real alcoholic ever recovers control. All of us felt at times that we were regaining control, but such intervals, usually brief, were inevitably followed by still less control, which led in time to pitiful and incomprehensible demoralization. We are convinced to a man that alcoholics of our type are in the grip of progressive illness. Over any considerable period, we got worse, never better. We are like men who have lost their legs. They never grow new ones. Neither does there appear to be any kind of treatment which will make alcoholics of our kind like other men. We have tried every imaginable remedy. In some instances, there has been brief recovery, followed always by a still worse relapse. Physicians who are familiar with alcoholism agree there is no such thing as making a normal drinker out of an alcoholic. Science may one day accomplish this, but it has not done so yet. Thank you. Despite all we can say, many who are real alcoholics are not going to believe they are in that class. By every form of self-deception and experimentation, they will try to prove themselves exceptions to the rule, therefore non-alcoholic. If anyone who is showing inability to control his drinking can do the right about face and drink like a gentleman, our hats are off to him. Heaven knows we have tried hard enough and long enough to drink like other people. Here are some of the methods we have tried. Drinking beer only, limiting the number of drinks, never drinking alone, never drinking in the morning, drinking only at home, never having it in the house, never drinking during business hours, drinking only at parties, switching from scotch to brandy, drinking only natural wines, agreeing to resign if ever drunk on the job, taking a trip, not taking a trip, swearing off forever, with and without a solemn oath, taking more physical exercise, reading inspirational books, going to health farms and sanitariums, accepting voluntary commitment to asylums. We could increase the list ad infinitum. Thank you.
Thanks, David. All right, Randy, come on up and read a portion of chapter 5.
Randy, I'm an addict. Rarely have we seen a person fall who has thoroughly followed our path. Randy, I'm an addict. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to the simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have not been born that way, or to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those, too, who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. We have decided you want what we have, and if you have decided you want what we have and are willing to go at any length to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. At some of these we balk. Thought we could find an easier way, softer way, but we cannot. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, powerful. Without help, it is too much for us, but there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. We admitted we are powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Huh? Oh. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to the alcoholics and to practice these principles in all of our affairs. Many of us exclaimed, "What an order! I can't go through with it." Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. These principles we have set down are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description to the alcoholic, the chapter to the agnostic, and our personal adventure before and after make clear 3 pertinent ideas. 1, that we are alcoholics and could not manage our own lives. 2, that probably no human power could ever relieve our alcoholism. And 3, that God could and would if he were sought.
Thanks, Randy. All right. While we observe the 7th tradition, which paid for your pizza, FYI, every AA group ought to be self-supporting, declining any outside contributions. Brandon, come on up and read the 12 traditions of AA.
You got change, Sean?
My name's Brandon. I'm a recovering alcoholic addict. 12 traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous. 1. Our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends on AA unity. 2. For our group purpose, there is one ultimate authority, a loving God as he may express himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants, they do not govern. 3. The only requirement for AA membership is a desire to stop drinking. 4. Each group should be anonymous except in matters affecting other groups or AA as a whole. 5. Each group has but one primary purpose, to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. 6. An AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprise. These problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. 7. Every AA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. 8. Alcoholics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. 9. AA such ought never be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. 10. Alcoholics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, hence the AA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. 11. Our public relation policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and films. 12. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. Thank you.
Thanks, Brandon. All right. So the format for this meeting is we're going to have a 10-minute speaker, then we'll take a 10-minute break, and then we'll have our main speaker followed by chips and birthdays because it's the last Tuesday of the month. And then if we have time for sharing, we will. So right now, I would love to introduce Hamid. Come on up, our 10-minute speaker.
And Sean will give you a 2-minute warning.
All right.
Oh, that's
I'm the one. My name's Hamid. I'm an addict. Man, today I stand here a very grateful person. I was born in Iran. I'm 46 years old right now. I was born in Iran. My first 9 years there, it was full of war, you know what I mean? My country was at war since the day I was born. Earliest memories of childhood is the siren going off in the town. Ram, ram. That means they're coming, you know what I mean? And then your house starts shaking like a 6.0 earthquake because the bombs are being dropped. And you know, all you could do at that time is just pray and, you know, hope your house don't get hit. You know, and I grew up as a kid to that, so, you know, that was normal for me. Like, I wasn't scared. I was fascinated looking at the jets flying over us, you know what I mean, looking out the windows. And in my household, my dad was an addict and a alcoholic since day one. And in my country, women have no rights. So my mom used to get beat up when she would act up, you know, and that was just my earliest memories as a child, you know, just violence in the house, violence outside, and you know, that shit was normal to me. And that was my first 9 years, and then we came to America, and my first 3 years here was normal. My dad wasn't here. I just came with my brother, my siblings, and my mom, and everything was all good. And then my dad followed us here like a couple of years later, and violence in the household started all over again. And at first it was all good. You know, like for the first year my dad came, and then they started fighting. My dad was drinking and doing his drugs, and my mom kept pushing his buttons, and one thing led to another, and they split up. And the day that my dad was out the front door, I was out my bedroom window that same night. That was my first time getting high on meth. I drank alcohol one time before that, and smoked weed one time before that, but the night my dad went out the front door, I went out my bedroom window, snuck out, and it was a wrap. The first time I did meth, that's it, it became an everyday thing for me right away, 14 years old. And that's where my madness started at, man, and you know, I fell in love with it. It gave me that escape from reality that I needed. And ever since then until now, it's been 32 years, and I've been doing that shit nonstop, you know. And at first, I didn't think I had a problem. You ask me if I got a drug problem, I tell you, yeah, I keep running out. You know what I mean? That was my only drug problem. But maybe like once I hit 30 years old, I realized I got a drug problem, went to my first program, completed it, did good for like 8 months, and after that 8 months, just one day I woke up, everything's peaches and cream, you know, like I had a good job, had my own house, car, motorcycle, everything going good. And it's just Saturday morning I woke up and went and got high, bro, and threw everything away. But what tripped me out was when that 8 months when I was doing good, every morning I'd wake up, go to work, make my coffee, watch the sun come up, smoke my cigarette, and I would be thinking, you know what, one day I'm gonna fuck all this shit off. Excuse my language. And one day I'm gonna be back in prison, and I'm gonna be kicking myself in the ass for throwing all this away, you know. And that's crazy thinking to me that, like, you know, I had it so good, I had everything I wanted, bro, and I just threw it all away. And I knew I was gonna throw it away the whole time that I was sober. I knew one day all this would be gone. I never felt like any of it was mine, and that thinking, it just tripped me out, and it made me feel like I was doomed. My dad, right when I turned 18, my dad had a heart attack and died in Long Beach at his Connect's house. You know what I mean? And he stayed a drug addict to the end, and he died a miserable man, a lonely man, and an addict. You know what I mean? And I seen myself going out the same way, the same damn way. You know, like until just maybe, like, I'm 46 now, until like 40, all the way to the end actually, all the way to until before I came here. Until I came here, I seen myself going out the same way as my dad. My best friend was my connect. I was always at his house. And I was just doing the most, you know, and I was like, I'm gonna go out just like my dad. I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack at my connect's house and die, just like Pops. I ain't seen nothing, you know, like, and I had accepted that. I had accepted that as my fate. You know what I mean? And the past 2 times that I got released from prison or jail, I will go out and I will get high right away. And as soon as I take that first hit, impending doom is the first thing that, like, now I don't even enjoy it no more. You know, it's like I was at the end of my rope. I wanted a way out, but I didn't think I was going to be able to find it, you know. I didn't see it in the cards for me. And I would get high and right away, like I can't lie to myself no more, you know what I mean? Like I already know what comes with it. Every night when I go to sleep, all I dream about is jail. And I'm like, and I don't want to go back to jail. I'd rather freaking die before I go back to jail, you know what I mean? Like I'm done with that, you know, I'm tired of that shit. So I had accepted, like, you know, like I would rather die than freaking go back to jail, man. And I don't want that shit for my future no more. And I don't know, I got blessed with this program. I caught a case for something I didn't do. I could have fought it and, you know, beat it probably, but I knew I needed a program. I was like, I was trying to find a way out, you know, and God blessed me with this program, you know, and when I was in jail, you know, they agreed to give me a program. I asked around, and everybody had nothing but good stuff to say about Fred Brown, you know. Everybody told me, man, you came up, you're going to a real good place. And, you know, all that impending doom and accepting that, you know, dark road as my fate, that's just out now, you know what I mean? And all I got to do, like, I learned a few things my last 90 days here. You know what I mean? I'm not cured, I'm not healed. I know that. You know, I'm just barely learning how to walk. I got me a sponsor. I'm looking forward to working with him when I get out of here tomorrow. I'm going to start right away. I'm going to call him, you know. I learned a few things that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life here. You know, one of them is that if I'm not working on my recovery, I'm working on a relapse. You know, and another thing I learned is just play the picture all the way through. You know, if you ever get that temptation in front of you, just think about what comes after that first hit. You know what I mean? And another thing is it never gets better, it only gets worse. You know what I mean? And I've learned all those already. I already know those are all facts. You know what I mean? There's no there's no second guessing that, you know, and I'm not getting no younger, and I got an example to set because I still have addicts in my family. You know, I got my little brother that's still running amok out there, and everything I've ever done in my life, he's always followed suit. So I got complete faith that, you know, like if I stick with this, he'll eventually follow suit too. And my mom's at the end of her rope now. You know, she got lightweight dementia, and she's freaking hopeless, bro. My sister died from an OD back in 2001. My dad died at his connect's house. My brother's out there doing drugs. And my mom's just ashamed of herself. She doesn't go around her family. You know what I mean? Like, because they're all successful people, you know, like. And my mom's just ashamed, bro. And I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to, like, let her die. When she dies, I want her to have, you know, like, be able to, like, at least have her head up a little bit and say, you know what, one of my kids did make, you know, like, I owe her that at least, bro. She's had my back this whole time. She's never given up on me when everyone else has told her, you know, like, forget about these fools. They're never going to change. Look how old they are, you know, and she never gave up on us, you know what I mean? And I owe her that, you know, like, that's another thing I learned here, you know, like, when you do your letters and do your step work and you call the people, your family, and you tell them how did my using affect you. And my mom, she only had one word for me. She said that you abandoned me. That's it. You know what I mean? I feel abandoned by you. And damn, that's, you know, like, she didn't have to tell me nothing. She didn't have to, like, you know, like, tell me this and that. She just said, you know what? I feel abandoned by you. And shit, that shit, like, it sunk in. You know what I mean? And I thank God every night, you know, that I'm in a position to change that. You know what I mean? And it's just a blessing, bro. This is all blessings, you know, and for me to throw it away, I just don't think I'm that retarded. I know I'm pretty stupid and I've made stupid ass choices, but I know I could do this. You know, I got faith in myself that I'm not that dumb. You know, all my bad decisions, my past doesn't dictate my future. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna let that happen. I got a lot of good trudging buddies that I met right here that are like brothers. You know, like, man, I got like at least 15 phone numbers in my phone that I regularly keep in contact with, and we could all do this together. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna hold each other up and we're gonna get through this shit. You know what I mean? And I thank everybody in this room, and I thank all the staff, man. All you guys been awesome, bro. Like I don't know. I can't come up with no words to express my gratitude, and you know, I'm just gonna show it with my actions, and that's all I got. Thank you.
Let's give Hamid another round of applause. I really appreciated your honest share, and I hope that you guys heard a lot from that. And there was so much hope and motivation, and I think you absolutely owe it to yourself first and your mom to be there for her. And when you were talking about doom, just be careful. You don't have to sit in that shit. That's what our program teaches us. Share our miseries, right? We share our miseries and sorrows, it cuts them in half. When we share our joys, it doubles. So just think about that. Reach out to your brothers. And then, I know you graduate tomorrow, but you transition to outpatient and RBH. We're here for you. If you need extra support, tap into that. That's what we get here. If you guys don't reach out and tap into us, I won't have a job, then I'll be under a bridge. No, I'm just teasing. But it's for you, because this is why we're here, right? Like, we want you guys to have the best opportunities going forward. Put all those tools in your arsenal and use them, right? And just keep that muscle memory going, because when you stop using it, that's when we start to regress. So I just wish the best for you, Hamid. So thank you. Let's give me another round of applause. All right, let's take a 10.
Hey,
Okay, let's start the second half of the meeting with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right, so I think like all of our speakers, it's a special treat to have them, but I think this one especially, it was a surprise, and I'm really excited that Arthur has agreed to come and share his story with you all. So come on up, Arthur.
Saturday good. All right.
Didn't I meet you Sunday?
I don't know. Man, where do I start? That's where I start. You guys been paying attention. I am Arthur. I suffer from the disease of addiction. Why I say I suffer from the disease of addiction? Because my disease is fatal. All right? I can be a gambler. I can be shopping. We got a kid and she's in the back. Sex, things like that. She's not here. I looked in the back. But those makes me an addict, right? But my disease is fatal, you know, and without you guys in recovery, you know, it's I can't keep it arrested. So, man, I'm grateful to be here. Thank you, Nancy, for inviting me. I just took in my 3 years also. I was once where you guys were, and I made it through. I just took some simple suggestions. I got out of my way, and I just took some direction, man. There's 5 things that we don't do. I mean, 5 things that we do in here, right? First of all, we don't use. We get a sponsor. We go to meetings. We do step work, right? And we be of service. Those 5 things is what kept me clean, just in that order. Give you guys a background. I come from Los Angeles, and I really don't like to share the war stories and stuff because I don't like sharing my war stories too much because I don't want to take away from the message, man. I like to live in solutions. But I'm gonna start as a child. As a child, you know, as a child, I grew up just watching what was in my community, people around me, my family, things on TV. I remember my first time lying. I believe my mom told me to, I don't know who was calling. I think maybe my grandma was calling. She didn't want to speak to her. And my mom told me to tell her, like, hey, tell her I'm not here. So that's when I first started lying, right? Going to school, it was kids going to liquor stores and getting things, and I wasn't able to afford it. So I stole. I got a high off of that. I would steal things. I would come home. My mom knew that no one gave this to me, and she would ask me where I get it from, and I would lie. And I get my butt whooped. But that didn't stop me. I started hanging around. As I got older, I started hanging around. As I got older, I wasn't too good in school, right? My reading comprehension wasn't all that well. I had these special ed classes I was ashamed of, so I would act out, right? My disease manifests itself in different ways, right? So anger is one of them. So I would act out, I would get upset that I'm in these classes, and I would do anything to get out of class. I started smoking weed, hanging out with kids who felt just like me, honestly. Smoking weed was fun. We just smoked just to be like recreational use, you know. It was a fun thing until I got older, started experience with other drugs, and I never thought I was an addict, man. Addiction took me by surprise. You know, it went from just having fun to now I'm dependent on it every day, and I still didn't see myself as an addict or I had a problem, and I didn't realize that the effect that I had on people. I didn't realize that I was hurting the people around me, as far as my family. My mom would say things to me, and only thing I would go do is get high and tell my friends that she don't understand me. You know what I mean? Like, what does she know? What does she know what I'm going through? And I would use that excuse for many of years. You know, my dad not around. You know, I was molested on both sides of my family. I feel inadequate. You know, I would use all these excuses to use, right? Also by my dad not being around, you know, I looked up to my older homies in my neighborhood, right? I looked up to them. I looked up to them for validation. You know, I look for you guys for validation, and I would do anything just to get validation from you. And I was codependent on that, right? I never knew who I was, honestly, because I went to a party when I was like 13 years old. I didn't come home until I was 30. Yeah, checks out. Yeah, so I never knew who I was, man. For that long, man. I've just been partying, you know. Birds fly, fishes swims, and addicts use, you know. So I would use to numb how I feel, and I was very selfish, self-seeking. I didn't care if something happened to you. All I knew was where's the drugs, and how to get more and more, right? I would always keep my outer appearances, but I would never share what I was really going through, right? Because I come from a culture where I just come from a culture where mental health and being vulnerable with another man is not acceptable, right? You always got to show that show that you're tough. You know, I can't show you that I'm crying. Definitely, you guys did some time. You know, can't show nobody you weak. You know, and all I did was suppress, man. And the more I kept suppressing, you know, my disease just kept manifesting itself in different ways in my life, and I didn't recognize that until I started opening up that step work. It wasn't until I really got tired. You know, I'm not gonna say like I didn't have some good times, man. I had some great fucking times, but I also had some bad times. I was stealing from my family. I was stealing from my child. I robbed her of a father. I took rent money from us. Smoked that up, sniffed it up. We was homeless. Staying with my daughter's, my baby mama dad, you know, and he even helped me, you know. I always tell myself like, all right, I'm gonna quit, right? I would try to use on a weekend, right? I would try to substitute one thing for another, right? That's why they say in like alcohol is a drug, period, right? I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop using, right? But then I start drinking. But sooner or later, man, I need something to balance me out. And I start calling people. I'm gonna find a way. So her dad helped us out. He sent me. I went to trucking school, and before I self-sabotaged myself a lot, right? I'm so used to bad or things happen bad in my life that it's getting good, but I'm not used to it. So I start self-sabotaging. I would find any reason to stop hanging with people, to cheat on this girl, to just do something to fuck my life up. I had an opportunity to drive trucks, right? Her dad gave me the money, and I gave me $500 to get my license renewed, right? Right before I went out to the valley, I got high. And I felt that shame and that guilt, that sadness, that why am I doing this to myself? But at the same time, I'm getting high though. Why am I doing this to myself? And I told myself I'm gonna stop, right? One is enough. How it go? And 1,000 never too many, right? There you go. I'm just making sure y'all listening. I got it. I'm making sure they're catching up. But yeah, man. So, and my uncle passed away, so I used that excuse, right? I would use any excuse to rationalize my behaviors instead of just manning the fuck up. I didn't know how to man up. All I knew was I was a runner, a track star. I don't want to deal with my feelings. Soon as my girl, even to this day, I'm working on it, right? It's a one day at a time program. So even today, you hear me with these feelings and stuff. Hold on, I shut down. Like I'm like a computer, you know, emotions. I don't know how to deal with too much emotions, man. So I would run from my emotions, and how I do it, I would go get high, I would go get loaded. You know, I was getting high in abandoned buildings, and I had a cold part about it. I had somewhere to go. I had somewhere to go this whole time, right? I was sleeping in tents, river vans, right? Trap house, and I had somewhere to go the whole time. You know, that's where the powerless come from, man. I was powerless. I tell myself I'm gonna go home, but I come right back thinking I'm missing something. And days go by, and I'm just smelling myself like, man, I go in Target, go somewhere, go steal something real quick. You know, I would keep my outer appearances up, but I would never take out my trash. And that shit just kept going on for years, man. I've tried everything under the sun. Probably not everything, but some of the stuff you guys name, I probably done it. And it never, always just kept feeling empty. I always kept feeling empty, no matter the relationships. You know, I told myself if I have a child, I'm gonna stop. My daughter couldn't do it. I said, I'm gonna go to church this week. God, just please help me. God couldn't do it, because God gives me choices, right? My mom cried, son, I'm like, what are you doing? I didn't raise you like this. That didn't do it. Me almost getting shot, you know, that didn't do it. I'd been stabbed, facing attempted murder. None of that did it. None of that did it, man. It wasn't until I was just defeated. I kept on thinking that I kept thinking I could add ingredients into this, right? Into this disease of addiction that makes sense, right? I kept thinking I can redo some shit that's already been going on before I was even born. Okay, maybe if I just get high on the weekend, or maybe if I just use this, you know, or maybe if I just cut back on this, or okay, maybe if I don't stay in the bathroom this long, you know, things like that, man. Because I would take people bathroom hostages too, you know. And I remember like just a disease, man. I would like literally, I would go into like smoking an abandoned building, right? Be a gang of roaches and stuff, and I would like make deals with the roaches. I'm like, you can have the walls, you can my backpack, my clothes, just don't touch my drugs, man. Like I don't care, you know. Like just don't touch my dope. Like roaches, I'm seriously, just don't touch my dope. And I would know how to hide it real well, man. I couldn't hide it from myself. Like that's one thing, you can lie to everybody, man, but you can't lie to yourself, man. So for years I was just lying to myself, man. Only body I was playing was myself. And it got to the point to where people was actually closing their doors on me. People that I thought would never close their doors on me. My auntie. And that's when I really started just experiencing like I've been homeless, but really experiencing homeless, like sleeping outside, finding a cardboard, you know, sleeping in cars, you know, carrying luggage, leaving this backpack in the bush, hoping nobody take my clothes, you know. And I should have known the gig was up when I started riding bikes, you know. I remember my homeboy told me, he said, bro, if I ever catch you on a bike, bro, we gonna get down, man, because the gig is up. I know you're doing something. Riding bikes, you know. I'm serious, man, you know. Like literally, like hiding my, like, dude. But that didn't, man. So before I even came into recovery, right, I got clean. I remember getting clean, going to a shelter. And got my apartment and everything. You know how they say celebration can be a relapse, right? Yeah. So I'm excited, man. See, I'm excited. I got my spot. You know, look at me. I got my weight back. Let me call my homies up. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. Like, look at me. I'm back on my feet. What's happening? And little like slowly but surely, I started back picking up, you know, these habits, man. It was the pre-lapse, right? It was the 3 stages of relapse, man. I think I talked to somebody today, right? It was emotional, the mental, and the physical, right? I'm starting going through things, right? And I'm isolated from people. I'm getting high at work, and now I'm getting back to these old behaviors. So now I'm committing crime, and I'm already have a job. What am I doing? Why am I doing this stuff? And I have somewhere to live, right? That's the disease of addiction, right? My disease don't give me the privilege to sit down and think about what I'm doing. I march, you know. I spend my rent money, just doing the most. But that was my downfall, right? That was something that I have to go through to get to where I'm at today. So I try to figure this thing out by myself for so long, and this is why, like, I can't do this alone, right? That's why I stay connected, so I stay protected. So after losing everything, I finally realized that I need some help. I never knew about what recovery was, right? What treatment was. So as I got out, and I came home, a judge recommended me to go to a treatment program, and thank God for that lady, right? And as I did my step 4, I have a resentment against the justice system, right? But working my step 4, why do I have a resentment against them? Because they caught me on my bullshit, and and I'm mad because I didn't get away, you know? But if I would have got away, would I be up here today? Would I be the better man I am today? Would I be a son and a father today, a best friend today? Shout out to my bro in the back, you know? But I wouldn't be here today. So it's crazy as I work these steps and I start to live in the solutions, right, instead of the problem, and stop blaming everybody and everything and the things that I went through as a kid. I stopped. I just stopped that, man. I just stopped that. I got the help that I needed. So I came to treatment. Man. It was hard for me. It was still hard for me, you know. And the crazy part is, life can be so simple. We make it hard, right? I don't know how many of y'all come from out of jail. You come to treatment. You like, you know what I mean? Make your bed up. You like, I'll make it up when I want to. You know what I mean? You tripping about some free food. You know what I'm saying? You tripping because you gotta go to, like, you tripping because you gotta go in your room. You get to go in your room. You know, you get to take a shower. You know what I mean? You get to wash your clothes. You know what I'm saying? I was still having these mannerisms, right? And this is why sponsorship is so important, right? I needed another man to teach me how to live right, cause I didn't. I was hoodwinked and bamboozled. You know, I was misguided and misinformed by misguided and misinformed people, what they call a generational curse. So I had to change my belief system, right? I had to learn how to humble myself and really turn my life over to God. And we all have our own understanding and relationship with God. But for me, man, it was getting up praying and meditating, you know, and not just going to church. It was reading my Bible. And I thank God for my best friend, you know, who challenged me in reading, who sent me these verses and kept me iron sharper iron, you know. I think that's Proverbs 27, verse 17. Check that out for me, bro. Let me double check. But iron sharper iron. So I would ask God for all these things, and I have to realize that I'm asking, what's that saying? I have to realize I'm asking for water while I'm standing in the ocean, right? So he provided me with everything that I'm asking for, but I'm so into myself and my self-seeking and the things that I want that I was selfish. I would complain about little stuff while I was in treatment, but I'm just, let me slow down. I'm just grateful for the process, right? So my step one was, first of all, it's as long as you want to stay free with the tradition, right? The only requirement is a desire to stop using. Yep. That's it. And the only work, and some of you members or non, whatever, the only work that you got to put in here is your step work and being a servant. That's the only work, right? And then to share the message, the step, tradition 5? And that's it, to share the message, man. It ain't about the message, it's about the message. So as I got busy, right? So let me come back to it. So I get out of jail, I go to recovery, right? And I'm so excited that I'm learning these things, right? Because again, like I'm telling you guys, I've been good at school only when I played sports, right? I played football. That kept me motivated, but I was so excited to learning new things and applying to my life, right? Because it's not about learning, right? It's only through understanding and application that they work. So it was like learning the things, but actually applying it, right? And every day ain't easy. Everything ain't peaches and orgasms, man. It was hard. It was really hard. So I'm learning these things and I'm so happy in my life, man. My mom had her son back. She know where I was at. My family is coming back around me because nobody wanted to be around me, man. Cause I was shady. I was really shady. I was moving shady. I was doing shady stuff, man. And I had to turn myself in clean. You know, I don't know about y'all, but that hurt me, man. That's something good going on in my life, man. I found a solution, God, and I got to turn myself in. So that old thinking, like, man, I'm like Plies. I don't know if y'all listen to Plies, man. It's an old Plies song. Say, damn, my P.O. I ain't going to stop grinding. Violate me if you want. I got to come find me. You know that song, Jesse. But anyway, man, that's the old thinking, though. I'm like, man, they going to have to come find me. I'm about to leave treatment. I'm about to go on a run, right? But thank God for sponsorship. My sponsor told me, like, running, like, you have to let go and let God. If this would it, God's trying to make room for something great for you that you don't understand. By you going on a run, you're not going to be able to receive, right? So for so many years, right, I always had my hand ball, right? Because I didn't know how to share, right? Because everybody that I gave always hurt me and took from me, right? So I always kept my hand closed, you know, and by me keeping my hand closed, I wasn't able to like to give or receive, right? So I had to let go, and I'm grateful I did that. So while I was incarcerated, I did like almost a year in 2 different counties. Came back home. I came back strong, man. I'm sitting here 3 years clean, you know, and it's in jail. Drugs is very expensive, but they're in there, you know. But I came back home and I played that tape through, man. Like, really, what do I want? And how do I get it? And I seen how other people stay clean, and it was kind of hard at first, because I'm like, man, they probably use it on the weekend. You know, people coming in the room, yeah, I got 23 years clean, and I'll be in the back like, man, hell no. He lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, he lying, you know, but, you know, I just stuck around. So I came home and got back busy, man. I cracked open my literature. So my step one, man, was that powerless, right? We admit that we are powerless over our addiction, right? So my powerless is me putting something in me, right? And I have no control. I don't care if rain, snow, blizzard, like I'm gonna go get one more if I put one in me, right? Because then I have to do my step two, right? For my step two is like, my God is giving me my sanity back, right? Because for a very long time, I didn't realize that for every action, there's a reaction. You know, and if I'm continuing to live in a mediocre life and doing mediocre things, I'm gonna get mediocre results. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, and I'm gonna get mediocre results. So, my step three, I made a decision, right? Nobody made it for me. I made a decision to turn my will and my life over to the care of God as I understood Him. And again, like I said, what did that look like for me? That's being of service, right? That's me turning my will my life over, right? It's being a service, even when I don't want to. Having a commitment is tough around here, man. I've been having some commitments since I've been clean, and sometimes I just be want to go to sleep, Nancy. Man, but if I don't, but it's the things that I learned in this program that I apply to my life outside of these rooms that help me show up for work. How to be honest while I'm at work, even when I'm in store. It goes a long way, man. It goes a long way, and I would have never got it if I'd worked the steps. And then my step four, man. I get to see all the even though I know I've done a lot of wrongs, but I also get to see my assets, man. And I get to see why I have resentments towards people. What part did I play in it? And you know, even in my relationship with different women, man, I learned that, you know, I was a womanizer. You know, I've learned that I use sex as a tool. You know, even today, you know, I'm learning how to, as I'm doing my work, I'm learning how to identify these things, to express certain things to my partner, you know, on why I act a certain type of way, and getting help, and getting help with these things. But it's just all on the step work, man. So my step 1, 2, and 3, it's like I couldn't, you know, I really have to focus on my behaviors, identify some things to work on it. Because it's like, if I would just come in, man, you cheating yourself, man. Like, I really hope everybody get it, man. When you guys get out of here, man, I highly suggest that you guys like get a sponsor, work the steps, and don't just be in a rush to like work, man. You know, and I'm thank God that I believed in the process, because, you know, I know that I didn't want to put anything before my recovery, because I know in the past, my past experience, when I put things before my recovery, my God, it never works out. It never works out, man. My track record shows it. So I had to do something different today. So I tell them my thinking. When I think I have a bright idea, man, I'll call somebody. I'll call somebody fast. My sponsor don't answer, guess what? I'm calling somebody, you know. That's another thing too, man. My disease, man, as I'm doing my work, man, I realize that it's not just the drugs I have problems with, right? Drugs is just a symptom. Drugs is just a symptom, man. You know, I'm obsessed with things, man, and that obsession of things, what's up, bro? That obsession of things overrides stuff, right? That's like when I see a girl, right? And see that girl with that big booty, right? I'm obsessed, right? And I just gotta have it. I'm obsessed, you know? And then I act on impulse. But it's things we do around here, man. We just telling our thinking. We laughing at that. That's some real stuff, man. You start, and I'm doing this stuff clean, man. I remember when I got clean, man. I was obsessed over a lot of stuff, clean. You know, acting out, clean. You know, disrespecting people, clean. You know, flirting with a lot of girls, clean. Doing a lot of, you know, being a player, clean. You know, so it's all about just being honest, man. And I had to be honest with myself, and that's the things that I was doing. I was obsessing over a lot of things, and then I became compulsive, right? And when obsession and opportunity meets in the intersection, oh man. And you don't have the anyway, man, yeah, if you don't have the tools for those, man, beware. So basically, man, that's just how I did it, y'all. I just did some steps and I stayed around, and no matter what I picked up, I don't pick up, I'm sorry. I'm kind of nervous up here, man. It's been a while, man.
Great.
Yeah, but that's it, man. Those are 5 things I do that works for me, bro. No matter what, I don't pick up. I call my sponsor. I go to meetings. I do my step work, and I'm a service, man. And that's just how I stay clean. And everything else is just God works, man. And I just continue, stay in the process, man. Thank you for letting me share.
What? Was he royalty? I didn't know that. Let's give Arthur another round of applause. Thank you, Arthur. All right. We have birthdays tonight. Where'd you go, Red? Come on up.
What's up, guys? My name's Michael, and I'm an alcoholic and addict. Michael! Also, your chip chick for this meeting. Here at Fred Brown Recovery Services, we'd like to celebrate various links of sobriety, starting with the most important person in the room. Newcomer with anyone with 29 days or less like to come up and get a chip and a hug. I love What's your name?
Oh, your name, who are you?
What's your name, brother? Michael. Will. Anyone else? All right. Anyone with 30 days? 30 days. That's right. Rudy. Anyone with 60 days? 60 days. All right. Anyone with 90 days? Next week.
Hamid got it.
Anyone with 6 months? Anyone else? All right. How about 9 months?
That's a baby.
A whole baby.
A whole baby. All right. Anyone with 18 months?
Win.
No way. Jonathan. That's 3 with half. Anyone that doesn't know. We also celebrate birthdays at this meeting, but it's at the end of every month, which happens to be tonight. So, anyone with 1 year, 2 years, 3.
Right there.
3? 3 years? All right. That's right.
I was slow to that one. I had a blonde moment. Sorry. How you doing? I had a blonde moment.
Hold on. We gotta
How
do
you
the
do
rest.
it? How you do it?
Hold on, we still gotta go with the years. We still gotta go with the years. Hold on 1 sec. So, anyone with 4 years? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20? 21 to 30? 31 to Bill and Bob? Give it up for Arthur.
Okay, double dipping. Hot. Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Arthur. Happy birthday to you. Pastor Jesse, you know. Nah, honestly, how I did it, I told y'all those 5 things, man. I didn't pick up. Called my sponsor. I went to meetings. In my step work, and I have my commitment, and it's a beautiful process, man. Within this process, today I'm a substance abuse counselor. I'm getting my record expunged. That's a process. Yeah. So it's possible, man. I'll be going to Cal State Long Beach in a few more, probably 3 more months for my social work program. And that's how I did it, man. That keeps me motivated. And it's crazy because I remember just being here, I was like, man, fuck, excuse me, can I just be real? All right, let me stop. I'd be like, F them birthday chills, but it gives me something to look forward to. You know what I mean? Cause I used to be in treatment with certain homies. I'm like, dang, man, bro got, you know. And I honestly ain't gonna lie. I used to be like, man, if he got 3, I'm gonna get 3. If he got 6, I'm gonna get. And it came, and one of my good friends, it became like that with us, man. And he still has his clean time. Pregnant, and I'm not gonna say his name, but that kept us going. That was something to look. After doing bad for so long, man, you need some type of hope, and this is a chip of hope, man. So, honestly, that's how I did it, man. Shout out to Fred Brown, shout out to Roxy. All right, gang, gang. Oh, shout out to Nancy. Shout out to Liz. Gang, gang. Or people watching online. Shout out my supervisor. Shout out Leanne 505. You know what I'm saying? We up in here. All right.
All right. With anyone with a year or more, please raise your hand. Look around the room. Just goes to show that this program does work. Thank you for letting me be of service.
All right, Sean, you want to come on up and do your treasury report, please?
Good evening, family. My name is Sean Navarro, and I am an alcoholic and an addict. All right. We had an old balance. Excuse me. We had an old balance of 5707, and we took in 3540 tonight, which leaves us with a new balance of $92.47. Thank you for letting me be of service. And your court card will be up here after meeting.
Thanks, Sean. All right, so we need a couple of volunteers to help us clean up. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Did I see a hand raise in the back? Was that Olivia? Whoop, whoop. All right. We'll take all the help we can get. Before we open the mic for sharing, I just wanted to thank you guys for contributing. I hope you enjoyed pizza birthday night. Is this something, raise your paw if you want to continue doing this? Yeah? Okay. And the pizza tonight's pizza better than last time? Yes. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit colder, right? Like it wasn't super hot because I went to Long Beach to get that and I had to walk all the way back, and 10 pizzas, it's super heavy. You're welcome. Thanks, Roxana. You know that's what I was begging for. But I actually got to go to my happy place, so I got to go to Costco and do some shopping for Roxy, which is always nice too. Spent her money, spent your money, spend everyone's money. I'm going back on Friday. Be sure to chip in so I can go shopping again. But we'll keep doing this. I think it's fun, and we'll just do it until it stops, right? So the mic's open. Who's going to come on up and take the mic? Alfie, come on up.
Alfie.
Please keep your shares to right around 3 minutes so we get a chance for everyone.
My name's Alfie. I'm an alcoholic addict.
Alfie.
I'm a straight trash can. Hey, I just want to say something, man. You know what? Last few days have been pretty rough with Fred Brown. We had lost a couple brothers. And don't let what they've done dictate what you do, man. You know what I mean? They did that. They wanted to do that. They wanted to leave. You know what I mean? And and I even went and tried to talk to one of them. But, I mean, once they get their mindset to leave, they're going to leave. You know what I mean? But stay. If I'm an old booger-eating biker like me, if I can stay through all the shit that I'm going through, excuse my language, then you guys can stay too. You know what I mean? Those were their decisions, man. They did what they wanted to do. But hold on to your seat, bud, because this shit ain't no joke. This shit'll kill you out there. It will. And I was slowly trying to kill myself. You know what I mean? Without even acknowledging I was trying to. Not even being aware that I was trying to. Subconsciously I was. And thank you, Roxy, again for having me back again. And I got to dig a little deeper this time and forgive some shit or get into some stuff that I've been holding on to for years. And I know I look like I'm 37, but I'm not, guys. No, I'm serious, man. I mean, 'cause this shit will kill you. Deader than shit. And I hope them young men are okay out there. I do. You know, but I mean, it is what it is. But for you younger cats, don't take what they did, man, and follow suit. You know what I mean? That shit ain't no fun. And it don't get no better than what that brother said back there. Man, and happy birthday to Arthur. Yeah, and big butts will get you in trouble, bud. Or big booties, like he said. But, yeah, he said big booties get him in trouble. So, yeah, I said, yeah, they will. But see how I done lost track? See what they do? Just, you know, utilize this place, man. I look at me every day. I'm looking at me more than I've ever looked at me in my life this time around. And it's helping me out a lot. And I have all the reasons. I try to justify all the reasons right now I should run. My kids, my wife, everything. But you know what? I can't do nobody no good, man. I can't do shit for nobody if I can't do anything for myself. What am I gonna do? Go to jail with my kid? Go take a husband back to a wife that's still stuck on his old bullshit? No. You know what I mean? And I'm going to utilize that 6 months at that sober living. And I've been struggling with going back and forth. Do I rent an apartment or do I go to sober living? Do I want to go back with these guys, watch cartoons and hear all this noise and shit all the time? Or do I want to go sit to myself and to be stuck by myself? And that's scary for me. And I don't. And Nancy, thank you for everything you do. And I guess that's my time, and I'm going to respect that. But yeah, thank you for all you do, Nancy. Thank everybody for what everybody does here, man.
Hey guys. Hello everyone. My name's Glenn. I'm an addict. Hi. I just wanted to come up here and extend my sincerest gratitude and thank you to everyone at Fred Brown, Roxy, and Jesse, and Joe, and everyone who's not here, especially Matthew's not here either, but you know, I just graduated last Friday, and yeah, thank you. So I especially want to thank them for allowing my family to show up to that thing. You know, I was expecting a couple of them, and like I had 6 people that meant the world. My mother, my grandma, my brother, my best friend, her 2 sisters, people who've been seen me at my worst, and it was the first time I got to look people in the eyes that had every reason to walk out on me, like every reason to give me up and just say F this guy. And tell me they loved me and they were proud of me, and I got to, Then the greatest part was I overheard my mom say to Matthew after it was all said and done, and she gave him a big hug and she said, "Thank you for giving me my son back." And yeah, that was yeah. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that, man. Like this program is everything about this thing does work if you, like I said, it works if you work it. But it's true, it is, and yeah, because like I said, I mean, I know for a lot of people, rock bottom is a moment. For me, it was a lifestyle, and but I'm moving on to the next chapter, and I cannot wait to do this, and I thank you everyone here who's been a part of this journey with me. I love you all. Thank you guys very much.
My name is Jason, and I'm a thankful, grateful, recovering addict. Had an incident yesterday with my brother. My brother just got out of jail about 3 weeks ago, and he called me yesterday. Saying that he wants to leave his program and this and that. He's tired of being in treatment, and he calls me every now and then. He always asks what I'm doing, but he called me yesterday and he said, I heard a beer can open. I heard like him open a can. Yeah, that noise. Yeah, yeah. And I was like, well, what are you doing, dude? Like, where you at? And he was just like, oh, I'm right here, just chilling. And I was like, well, where? And he was just like, well, at the program I'm at. And I was like, bro, no, you are not. Like, the whole environment in the background, it just didn't sound like it. He said that someone came to the program, someone's family brought in drugs, and I was like, and he told me he got high. And before all this, he calls me every now and then and says like, he always reminds me of like old things that me and him have done in the past. Like, oh, you remember this? You remember that? And I do remember, but I don't want to remember. You know, I don't live like that no more. I preach to him like, look I don't live like that no more. Like, for those that do know me, I sure do joke around a lot, but I take my recovery and my sobriety very serious. I have a year and 3 months clean and sober. I would have never in my life thought I'd be where I am today. I have a job. I go every other day. Today was my day off. But you know, I just wanted to come, you know, because I haven't been here in a while. You know, it's been a couple months since I've been here. Just wanted to show my face and, you know, that I haven't forgot about the program and where I come from. You know, I've been in the same exact seats. I went through residential, and I thank God for residential. Residential, it was a pain in the ass, but yes, yeah, I know, Nancy, yeah. But overall, in general, I thank God. I thank God and my higher power that I'm in the position where I am today, and I don't have to think about going back to the riverbed or the train tracks, wherever I come from. I'm in a house, warm, full, not hungry, job. I'm good. And my name is Jason, and I'm a thankful, grateful, recovering addict. I hope everyone has a wonderful and safe night.
My name Cassell. I'm an addict. And I'm coming up on 19 years and a couple of, I don't know how to say this. In June, I had 19 years without a drink or a drug. I never ever tried to catch up. I just stay into today. Cause at midnight I be in a new day. There's no way possible my imagination could have told me I'd be here coming up on 19 years. I wanted to, I was doing it, but I had to let that go and get off into doing the 12 steps. And the reason why I'm saying the 12 steps is of God work. Cause he the one that made my mother, my father, you know, grandmama, all that, whole generation. I'm saying it like that respectfully. My son was here, he drove back, he on the way in Detroit now, and said, come on, Daddy. No, brother, I'm gonna stay a little longer. There's things I got to do. I'm saying it like that because when I first said that you can't catch up unless you are an athlete or a tomato. It took a while for me in recovery to understand ketchup. But the tomato is what make ketchup. So, continue to be the best that you could be. As long as you stay into today, you can't lose. And if your mind keep telling you shit, you ought to let your mind know you got a brain. And you feed your brain fish. Fish nourish the brain. So continue to be the best you can be. Oh, I say this, won't have to say too much more. It's like, it takes energy to cuss. The less cussing you do, the more energy you'll have to help somebody else. And if you want the thing they call recovery, you gotta help a lot of people. And the only way to keep it is to give it away. Boy, that was a big one for me. Only keep it give away. Yeah, you keep reminding yourself of where you come from and where you at now. So keep doing what winners do and you can't do. Thank y'all.
Michael's our last chair.
Real quick, guys. Hi, my name is Michael. I'm an alcoholic addict. I just wanted to say it has been one hell of a journey for me, because I think the last time my dad has ever said, "I'm so proud of you, son," was back when I was getting into college, and I actually made it into college. But this past, I want to say like couple weeks, he's been saying how proud I am of you because of the accomplishments that you've done, getting your credentials done, getting your certifications done, actually striving for things that you actually are passionate about. So I am so happy to say that like my dad has said to me with tears in his eyes and directly to me that he is proud of me. So that to me is just a huge accomplishment, and I just want to share that, happiness with all of you guys. And also thank you, Roxy, for letting me be a part of this team, and thank you to everyone else here who's actually giving me the positive reinforcement to make it through and make it worth my while. So I just want to say thank you to everyone here, because all of you guys empower me to do better at what I feel so passionate about. So thank you guys.
Thanks, Red. Appreciate that. All right, Glenn, come on up and read a vision for you, please.
Back again. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, once again, I'm Glenn, and I'm an addict. And thank you. All right, a vision for you. Our book is meant to be suggestive only. We realize we know only a little. God will constantly disclose more to you and to us. Ask him in your morning meditation what you can do each day for the man who is still sick. The answers will come if your house is in order. But obviously, you cannot transmit something you haven't got. See to it that your relationship with him is right, and great events will come to pass for you and countless others. This is the great fact for us. Abandon yourself to God as you understand God. Admit your faults to him and to your fellows. Clear away the wreckage of your past. Give freely of what you find and join us. We shall be with you in the fellowship of the Spirit, and you will surely meet some of us as you trudge the road of happy destiny. May God bless you and keep you until then.
Thanks, Glenn. Don't forget to clean up the wreckage of your presents. Let's link up and pray out.
Frank Endo.
Billy, we got a coffee, man. Attention.
All right, linked up.
to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, the wisdom to know the difference. That was terrible. What happened? Everybody was off.
You sure will. Don't forget your court cards.
come around Pedro.
Thanks, Lester.
Of course, he comes up with his own curriculum. He'll paraphrase stuff. He'll put the original text of the step or the tradition, and then he'll break it down and tell us what anyone